evening, everybody. You're listening to WBCB 1490. This is Merrill Race, voice of your Philadelphia Eagles. And this evening, we're coming to you from Bucks County, where all eyes are on the town of Bristol Borough. They are a finalist for Season 2 of the Small Business Revolution Main Street. And tonight, at the Bristol Riverside Theater, Deluxe will be announcing the winning town.
Win or lose, we win. We're a good town, you know?
Now, if Bristol Borough does win, they'll be the beneficiary of a $500,000 revitalization effort focused on their Main Street and on the small businesses that make that downtown what it is. Best of luck, Bristol Borough. Bucks County's rooting for you.
Hi, I'm Amanda Brinkman from Deluxe and the Small Business Revolution. Today is a very exciting day. We're going to find out the winner of the Small Business Revolution Main Street Season 2. After nearly 14,000 nominations from incredible towns across the country, to even make it through to the final 5 was an amazing accomplishment. But I have kept you waiting long enough. The winner of the Small Business Revolution Main Street is...
Small towns across America are fighting for their survival with the odds stacked against them. But what happens if we join that fight?
Small Business Revolution Main Street
the
Makeover
second
contest.
year in a row for the competition.
One community is getting a $500,000 makeover.
Thousands of small cities and towns taking part.
What started as an idea became a national movement with over 1 million votes cast throughout the country. And finally, one winner.
The borough will get grants, publicity, and advice.
The town went all out to win the competition.
I know I voted.
Now, marketing expert Amanda Brinkman and her team at Deluxe are going to work for the people of Bristol Borough, Pennsylvania. And they brought along entrepreneur Robert Herjavec and a cast of small business experts to help revitalize the town.
This is a story we've been following all summer.
Bristol Borough residents hoping for that big boost.
Every episode, we'll be working with a new small business, bringing marketing expertise, financial advice, and decades of experience, strengthening the town's economy, one business at a time. The team has only a few short months to see if they can change the odds. If together, we can start a revolution.
Thank you, sir.
Pulling into Bristol Borough, I can't help but to think back to the same moment last year in Wabash. The whole concept was brand new then, and I'm tested. We'd all worked with small businesses before, but it was the first time we'd be trying to revitalize an entire town. We really didn't know if it would work. Yet working alongside the people of Wabash, we enjoyed a greater impact than we could have expected.
I've lived here over 50 years and I've never seen anything like this. The town has really come together.
It's definitely been one of the most monumental things that have ever happened in our life.
We saw struggling small business owners take home first paychecks, new businesses opening in Wabash because of the town's buzz, and more foot traffic now than they'd seen in decades. Because of that success, we're getting a whole lot more attention this year. And the excitement is great, but it's also scary because unlike last year, there's an expectation, and we must deliver.
Second season with Amanda and Deluxe, we felt we needed to take it to another level.
We've also got to adapt to a completely different set of circumstances. Last season, if you drove a few miles outside of Wabash in any direction, you were in farmland. But here, the people never really thin out. From Boston down to DC, it's one town after another, packed solid between these huge cities. So there's a whole lot more competition here, but there's also a lot bigger market to tap. More than 20 million people are within a 2-hour train ride of Bristol Borough.
There's a lot of different Pennsylvanias out there, but southeastern Pennsylvania is filled. Cheesesteaks, Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, Phillies, and yeah, there's a toughness. There's a There's Philly. What else can I say? It's Philadelphia.
We're often described as a blue-collar, gritty little town. We're not a rich community. We're rich in a lot of other ways.
You find so many cultures. We got Mexicans, African Americans, Puerto Ricans, Irish people, all kinds.
It's kind of the microcosm of America. You can find Section 8 homes and then again, $1 million homes right on the Delaware River.
The Delaware River is our biggest asset. Beautiful, majestic, navigable. Bristol Borough was founded in 1681. The King George II Inn was the longest continuously operated inn in the United States. And the rumor is that George Washington passed through there when he was about 7 years old.
It's like the oldest town around here, 1 year older than Philadelphia, so you can't really beat that.
All that's important, but I really think the history that I value, it's the culture.
There's toughness, but I think the main thing is like we are a tight-knit community, in a different way than I feel in most towns.
I can know my daughter is across the other side of town and she's okay.
We work in peace and harmony. I mean, that sounds a little hokey, but we do.
We think we have a gem. We think we are the best undiscovered treasure in Bucks County, unless you can prove it different.
We've got to hit the ground running, which means learning as much as we can about the town as quickly as possible. So Robert and I are headed to Borough Hall to meet with the council president, 2 small business owners, and Raising the Bar chairman, Bill Pezza. So for the Small Business Revolution, we're here to help. What do you think Bristol Borough needs?
I think you've given us a great deal of what we already needed, which was
that was easy. Let's go.
Which was
Our work here is done.
A resurgence of confidence. But we have business owners who are working with their hearts, and they need to work more with their heads. So the expertise that you guys could provide is what I think they need the most.
That's exactly what we're here to help with. I mean, so few small business owners started their own business because they couldn't wait to manage the books or build a website.
All the businesses we talked to, they're all different businesses. The lack of financial knowledge about the business was across the board.
Like, at tax time, you see what you made that year and you're like, wow. And you look at your bank account and you're like, where is it?
Where did it go?
Where is it?
It's a brave thing to start a business, because just because you're good at something doesn't mean that you're going to be great at running a business. And you really have to love that part of it.
We're definitely trying to work in that direction.
Is there a lot of vacancy?
There's less. There's still vacancy.
Less, yeah.
What would you say the vacancy rate is?
I'd say the vacancy rate now is maybe 20%.
What's normal?
Before this all started, it was maybe 50%.
We sunk to the level where our movie theater was turned into a XXX art theater.
A triple what?
XXX rated theater. And that was a real stigma. And it almost became our persona.
Is it still?
Oh, no. We closed it down, turned it into a performing arts theater. And that was a real piece of the turnaround.
Now it's a regional drive. It's easy to laugh about the old nudie theater, but it wasn't very funny while it was there. The truth is, the battle Bristol's fighting is the same one that small towns across the country are facing, and not all of them are winning. Once thriving towns have simply disappeared from the map. Nobody lives there anymore. So that's what's at stake here. So one of the aspects of this program will be really helping figure out how we market the town as a whole. And one of the things we always ask when we're trying to figure out a marketing strategy is, what is your unique value propositions?
The diversity here. We got a nice melting pot of people as it is, and then with these different businesses kind of coming out, I think we're offering more than what most other townships I'm seeing offer by far.
That's a good one.
We think that the country is finally realizing that main streets are a cool place to be. This contest really contributed to that.
I think we have to strike while this iron is hot. I think we can market the history, I think the river, but I actually think the diversity piece is a really important aspect as well. At a time when our country is so divided, it feels like Bristol is light years ahead of the rest of the country in terms of that sense of community.
I love that. It's true.
Bristol Borough has a lot going for it, but it also has a lot of challenges. If we're going to succeed here, we need to understand both sides of that coin.
So if you look up, you see the Grundy Clock Tower. Right now it houses 15 different small businesses, but if you go back into the turn of the century, it employed over 850 people. Today, that building is symbolic of the industry that was once in Bristol Borough. I think Bristol's history closely parallels the economic and industrial history of the United States. When the mills were booming, we were booming.
My grandma would take us up down Mill Street and all the stores would be full.
I bought my first dog on Mill Street. It was $5. I drug him home. There was so much to do in this town.
We were characterized as the jewel of Bucks County.
The jobs left, and the malls happened to come up at the same time.
As I got to like a teenager, I'm like looking, I'm like, there's nothing here. Like there's no stores. There's no interest to come down this way. It kind of just like died out.
It was tough back in the late 70s and early 80s. You know, we were seeing a decline in our population. Businesses that had been here for 3 generations, they were closing up.
We didn't die, but we went into a very deep sleep, and it was scary.
When they say major stores killed small business, the internet is now killing major stores. You know, everybody needs to figure out how we are surviving.
We know that we're never going to be what we were. So we have to decide, what are we going to be? Okay, should we take a look?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Okay, so this is Train Pops Attic that you're familiar with. It's a huge hobby store focusing on trains, model trains.
Downtown Bristol Borough is pretty straightforward. Mill Street is our main street with a few commercial blocks coming right off of it. Mill connects to Radcliffe down by the water, and then Radcliffe runs right out along the river. The town center is pretty condensed, and it's the heart of the borough, so that's where we've been focusing a lot of our efforts.
We were like this, going like this, and then we started to see an uptick again. We started to get a couple new stores.
Here on our right is one of our newer retail shops. It's called Polka Dot Parlor. Edgy clothing. We formed this group called Raising the Bar, which is a nonprofit civic group. We do whatever we can for economic development, the arts, historic preservation, tourism.
I think the single biggest thing right now is going to be the new docks that we're putting in. 28 boats will be able to dock there on a daily basis. So that's going to be a big draw for our community.
Hi, Noreen, how are you? Why don't you say hello to one of our finest citizens?
Hi, I'm
Noreen
Amanda.
Mulhern.
Nice to meet you.
The big employers are not coming back. We need to do it one small business at a time. And now we're seeing things starting to turn around.
2015 into 2016, we saw 16 new stores open up. That's fantastic. You know, if the downtown is prospering, the rest of the town is prospering. But I worry every day that things start to go the wrong way. Maybe half of the new businesses fail. That stops the progress. You know, 8 vacant stores. People come to town and say, oh, geez, what's going on here?
Where's Calm Waters?
We want to fill all those shops. I hope none of ours fail. And we'll do whatever it takes to, you know, to make sure they don't.
As we walk up Mill Street toward the water, more and more people keep joining our tour until we have like this entire procession moving through town. You can already feel the momentum here. We don't have to start a movement in Bristol Borough. We get to join one that's already in progress.
Yeah, let's take a picture.
The buzz was growing, but it was like there's still something missing. And now it's like I feel like it's gonna push it over. And I feel like in the next year it's gonna be like exactly what everyone wanted it to be.
Oh my God, I wasn't ready for this. I look at that way.
We're seeing what we're all capable of down here, what this town's capable of, and with this happening, it just, you know, it blew us all away.
It's very important that towns like ours experience that rejuvenation, that revitalization. People love Bristol, and it's my home.
If you lose the main streets and lose the small town business districts, you'll really lose a slice of Americana. That's something that's unique, that they're only gonna find in places like Bristol and Wabash. It's something America needs now more than ever.
We're surrounded by cynicism so often that when a group of people have the courage to be truly earnest, you really notice it. You could feel that we were all there together at the start of something big.
Beat of my heart.
Our next step is to find the half a dozen Bristol Borough businesses we're going to be working with over the next few months. After such an incredible welcome, it feels a little weird to be immediately moving into some kind of elimination round, but we don't have a lot of time. The 20 businesses on our short list are all great, and the only way we can choose the final 6 is to meet everybody in person.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to stand on this thing. Okay.
Well, thank you. All right, so we had 115 applications of businesses to work with. So I just feel great about making it this far. Again, 115 down to 20. You guys are all already winners. The 6 businesses we choose are in for an intense few months. This is a partnership, not a handout. They'll be working with the Deluxe team, doing a complete overhaul of their marketing, from social media to websites to apparel. Robert Herjavec is taking time away from his businesses and his show to come in and advise on the numbers. And then each of the 6 winners will be paired with an expert from their industry who can help with operations. That's on top of any physical improvements we'll be making to their building. We look forward to getting to know more about your business and asking you questions. And please just be as honest with us as possible. Okay? All right, we're looking forward to meeting with all of you. Congratulations. So we're all set for some small business speed dating. Each owner will get 15 minutes, 5 minutes to make their pitch, and then 10 minutes for us to ask questions. And we've brought in some key members of the Deluxe team to make sure we don't miss anything. Julie, Cam, and Malcolm have all flown in from Deluxe headquarters in Minnesota to round out the panel.
Hey, good to see you. Megan.
Hello.
Hi, Jimmy.
How is everyone today?
Stolen Associates, the only law firm on Mill Street. Breathe.
Well, first I brought some pictures to show you guys like my work.
Well, this is us. Yeah. This is my business. So it's soup for everybody.
Well, Polka Dot Parlor, it's basically a place for anybody that has a little bit of edge.
So why would I come to you?
Our business is run like a family.
Is it true that you used to get your hair cut there when you were a little boy?
Yes.
That's
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, when I was a little kid.
I try to do everything from scratch. When you come in, whatever you order, I make when you order it.
Bob cooks for you like you're at his dining room table.
So where did you get the idea?
My grandfather started this business in 1956.
Hems has been a presence in the borough for generations. When it came to the business side of the venture, we had no idea what we were doing, but we were certain that our passion and our mechanical skills and our customer skills would lead us to success.
What do you think you're lacking that we could help you with?
I didn't open with a business plan.
I've never worked retail in my life.
If somebody could actually say, hey, this is how much we're gonna charge, this is how we're gonna promote it, this is how we're gonna take payment, that would be great because I haven't figured it out.
Are there any challenges in working with your mother?
No, not at all. No.
Are there any challenges in working with your son?
Well, actually, you know,
How often are you full?
Great question.
Well, I'm going to say not often enough.
right now we have 9 children. The capacity is 35.
But in the back of my head, I'm like, can I keep these doors open?
What would you class as success? What would make you happy?
I have 3 girls. So not to get rich, but to make a decent living, an honest living.
How are you reaching, your potential customers then?
It's been word of mouth.
We've never advertised.
70-80% is word of mouth.
That can take you only but so far.
And do you have a website?
My primary website right now is down.
My website is horrible.
I did, but I'm honest, I just don't know how to do it.
There's a part of me that wishes these business owners could hear each other's stories. They share so many of the same challenges. And when you're struggling, it can mean so much to hear someone else say, me too. But we also need to understand what makes each of their stories unique. So we saved our hardest question for last. Why do you think you should be chosen?
My main focus is the children and the families, and to have them walk away knowing that we touched their lives.
I believe in my food. I cook from my heart. So we're really an old school mom and pop restaurant.
Last year, what happened, I got a fire and I had to close my restaurant for 8-9 months. I lost everything.
It's not that I want to succeed. I want this town I want all of us to succeed together.
We're still here after 10 years. We haven't given up. We're in for the long haul.
I wanted to be a boxer, but my family never had the money for it. I used to just box by myself. I had always dreamed that I wanted to open my own gym. I don't want these kids to grow up and be boxing in their room like I did.
You're doing a wonderful service to this community. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to run a website. You're doing something much more important than that. So feel good about that.
You're already a success.
No matter what happens with all this, just be proud of what you do.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So after all of that, how do you turn anybody down? We need some help. So we're headed back to headquarters in Minnesota to get input from a few more of our small business experts and to make our final decisions. All of these stories are amazing, but we can only pick 6.
Why don't we start looking at the businesses that you guys felt were in good shape or we couldn't help as much as maybe some other businesses?
I would say for me, one that I think is doing really well is Bird of Paradise Flowers, and I love Jimmy, but he's doing well.
Stoli and Associates is another one. I put him in the same pile.
I don't want to say that they're doing well, they don't need our help, because every small business kind of needs help.
Okay, let's have this be the need it less pile. The impact we could have isn't just about need. We also want to look at growth opportunity to see if we can find businesses whose goals match up with our skills and budget.
Annabella. Yes.
He is a great chef, but he doesn't know how to do the marketing piece of it. He's not showing up well online. So I feel like we can make a far bigger difference with Bob and Allison and Annabella.
So Miguel.
That's a business that's expanding, that is doing well, but could do better with an extra nudge from us.
I love
there
the
too.
fact that the space, it was a barbershop that was around from like the 20s, I think.
Story is key, and not just because we want to be working with compelling people, it's because a powerful narrative can be the foundation of a marketing plan, which is one of the places where we are going to be able to have the biggest impact.
Jose's story is insanely compelling.
And we can't go to Philadelphia and not do a boxing story.
Yep.
I know. Paulette is just like magnetic. She's so wonderful. She's effervescent.
Well, and she's the only clothing boutique, and retail is an important aspect of downtown Bristol Borough.
That's our last big measure. We need variety. And we must make sure that whoever we choose has the potential to move the needle for the entire community.
This town needs somewhere where you can get your car fixed.
It's a lost art almost.
Yeah.
And it'd be
they
great.
need the most help.
And they
There's
also
something
seem
insanely
exhausted. Like they seem exhausted. They're working so hard.
Their issue is the revenue does this.
Nothing says community more than children. I would like us to really try to get into that final 6, something that is the epitome of community.
Not to mention, they really want to show that if you can really educate young children at an early age, they can thrive in the community. That's their mission.
This group I think is fantastic. We've talked about a lot of what we have to offer them, but I look at this list and we'll be a better company by our interactions with these small businesses. We can help them, but we're gonna be better for it as well.
After thousands of towns, millions of votes, and a grueling selection process, we are down to the 6. We've got a preschool that is striving to provide the same high level of early education to every child. We've got a boxing coach who cares as much about training good human beings as he does about training boxers. A barber who has mastered his art so that he can carry on a legacy in his hometown. An auto shop where honesty and family are the foundation of the business. A restaurant that provides a home-cooked meal and a community gathering place. And a clothing boutique that teaches women to be proud of exactly who they are. The 6 businesses we've chosen represent everything that's great about Bristol. And it's an honor that for the next few months, they're going to allow us to be their partner. But we didn't want to give away the surprise quite yet. So we just asked the winning businesses if they could meet so we could capture some additional B-roll in the middle of a snowstorm.
All right. So we're gonna kind of angle you this way just because this background's kind of nice.
Yep.
So if you could face kind of like out in that direction.
Yep, this is good. Okay, so keep looking to me.
You're gonna keep your eyes right into the middle of his lens.
Congratulations, you're the 6 businesses!
No one's going to save your business. No one can do it for you. The only thing we do here is we point people in the right way. After that, it's up to them.
These are people's lives. It's their families, their dreams, their passions. I'm blown away that they just let us in and let us become a part of what they've built. We've got a lot of work to do, and success here with these businesses and this town just isn't guaranteed. But seeing the looks on these business owners' faces, I wouldn't bet against it.
on the next episode of Small Business Revolution Main Street. Hem's Truck and Auto is a family-owned shop with deep ties to the community.
The Hem's name. It's an icon in Bristol.
But money problems threatened the entire operation.
We had no money and we had all these bills due. Separate mine from yours.
Can the Small Business Revolution team help them get on solid ground?
I'm not sure you guys know exactly what it is you want to be when you grow up.
Sounds like you're aware of the fact that this is not the best customer experience.
Can the Small Business Revolution team get this business running smoothly?
You've earned the right to be sitting here because you've actually done it. You should be immensely proud of that.
The Small Business Revolution team is taking a look under the hood.